We moved back to Dothan about 4 years ago. I'm originally from Dothan and grew up in Nativity, so it definitely holds a special place in my heart. And it seemed only natural for us to join as soon as we got back.
And it was pretty special for me, just with Jenny growing up here and her family still going here, that I got to take part in this experience with her.
When you compare Nativity to lots of other churches in town, we have a more traditional service, and that appeals to certain people, and I'm one of those people. I also think one of the things about Nativity is there are people from all walks of life, and everybody is very friendly, open, wants to get to know you. When we came back, so many people came up to George and were talking to him and had no idea that we were married, and I think it's just a special place where people they want to really get to know you.
For me, the word is welcoming. I didn't know very many people when I moved back, and when we moved back, and I just had people come up to me, and it's like I've been friends for forever with them, and fortunately those relationships have just been growing over the last 4 years.
We have lots of younger couples that are really joining the church, and the more active you have children, the more active you'll have families. We've really started a good thing with the family service, and all the adults who are helping with it really get to know the kids, and I know my children really look forward to coming to it. So for us with 3 young kids, I mean, that's a big thing to look forward to, and it can impact the community because oftentimes it's difficult for families to visit churches or find new church homes with children. I just think the family service is a great way to do that because the whole family can come and not have to worry about finding the nursery, and it's easy to invite your friends too. So I think kind of seeing that children's ministry grow is something that we're looking forward to.
I'm one of the least musical people, musically inclined people that there is, but probably one of the most special times for me at the church is at our Christmas services and the music with the choir, and I think that's what really feeds me spiritually, is the being able to sit in the church and listen to our beautiful music that we have is something that feeds me spiritually. That's something, Jenny, that you probably have never heard me say before.
That's true, but I do think it's one of the great unique things about our church, and at Christmas, people from the community come to the special services to hear the music, and that was always a big thing for my family growing up. I know it's my dad's favorite thing about our church, and it's kind of been passed on to me as well. It's just, you can feel God in that moment with the choir and the organ. Especially to me is at the end of the service when everyone's processing out. I just love that part of it. And the beauty of the church and the gardens, just walking around. If you need some time to think, I think that's kind of one of the biggest things. On a totally separate note, though, I also find God in the fellowship. Just standing around talking after church to people that I don't necessarily run into any other place. I think for us, we're both very committed people to things that we want to do. And so it's only natural that we want to be faithful and we want to give back to our church. And so part of that is the responsibility of stewardship. That commitment and giving just falls in line with our faith and helps solidify that for us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just very grateful for the gifts that God has given us, and that stewardship provides us with opportunity to pay that forward, if you will. And that's a very big part of faith for me too, is practicing stewardship. It's something that every Sunday when the offering plate comes around, each child in our family is handed money to put in the offering plate. And it's more of the, really we're investing in our children and their faith. And we want them to learn that from a very young age, how important it is and how much it means to us.
Yeah, I would say in our family, we really try to lead by example. And so setting that example is important for our children, especially as they're getting older, and really understanding more about money and where you're putting your money and where you're putting your time. Somewhere I was reading, it said that material things are God's instruments. And so giving those material things back to the church, give those instruments to bring more people to Christ in our community. If I was trying to encourage somebody to pledge for the first time, the biggest thing for them to know is that it doesn't really matter how much. It's the commitment and getting in the routine of doing it. And once you realize that you can do it, it feels good to do it. And so you can increase the amount in as small or as big in increments as you want, whatever feels comfortable for you. It's not something that anybody else will know or needs to know. And so it's kind of a personal commitment that you can feel good about.
Yeah, and it's just extremely important to us to be able to support the growth of this church and keep Nativity going for the, forever in the future for our children and for our congregation.
We are Nativity together.